It has always been a dream of mine to explore as much as I can in this lifetime, to see the world and all its beauty. I've been blessed to have the chance to travel to some of the most unique places in the world, from countrysides to busy cities, from snow-covered mountains to the vast deserts. But one limitation I've yet to overcome is the sea. You can only go so deep before you reach a physical limit, and that's all you can do.
So today we've partnered up with Resorts World Sentosa for one of the most unique experiences right here in Singapore, learning to scuba dive in the S.E.A Aquarium.
The S.E.A Aquarium is Southeast Asia's largest aquarium and home to more than 100,000 marine animals of over 1,000 species. And by the third day, we'll be swimming amongst them. Together with the help of a dive master and instructor, my friend Shawn and I will train to learn to become open water divers. This truly remarkable experience starts right now.
Alright, hey guys, so we are just arriving at the S.E.A Aquarium, which is over there, and just about to head in to start on our dive lessons. So we got all our camera gear. We have a couple of friends with us. We have Shawn, who is going to be learning how to dive with me. We also have Bernard, who is an experienced diver and filmmaker underwater. So we've gotten his help to film this whole adventure of ours because he's more experienced underwater. But here we go. This is the first day. Let's go.
Hey, sup, man? What is up?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? Yo. Any tips for us not to die?
Try not to float.
Try not to float.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. Don't start floating up too much.
Right.
Right, so here we are, heading over to meet our instructor and begin our lessons.
All right. Let's get it on. Let's go in.
Right, so we're taking a quick quiz just to test our knowledge and sort of recap what we've learned on the e-learning. So we did this e-learning like online way before.
Intense.
Yeah, it was really comprehensive. So we're just doing a short quiz right now so that the instructors know that we actually know what we're doing and kind of retain all this knowledge. Yeah, pretty tricky questions, but all relatively based around safety lah. Yeah.
Right after we finished our test, we got into our wetsuits and had our swimming and water treading skills evaluated. This was just to make sure that we were comfortable in the water and could swim reasonably well. Once that was done, the real fun began. Before we headed back into the water, we first had a tutorial on all the equipment that we would be using. We learned how to properly assemble them, how to check that they're working properly, and lastly, how to help each other rig up and prepare for the dive.
There's no filming, it's not tough enough. He's now filming with scuba gear on. Wow.
Stabilization.
Wow.
Alright, so now that we're done with all the first part of the training, we're going in for our first dive. Let's go.
During the first 2 days, we would learn all the basic safety drills and the skills needed to dive in the open ocean habitat on day 3. Some of these skills included the buddy check, ensuring we knew how to safely release each other's rigs in case of an emergency, and also to ensure we had all our gears working right before diving. We also learned how to breathe properly underwater and how to use it to control our buoyancy. We learned how to recover our regulator in the event that it gets dislodged from our mouths. Also, one of the very critical skills was learning to clear our mask of water that might have gotten in. This included the full removal of our mask, also to instill some confidence underwater. We learned how to descend safely into the depths of the water, and finally practice swimming and maneuvering underwater while controlling our buoyancy. The next day we moved on to more advanced drills, including the out of air drill with our buddy, whereby we simulated one diver running out of air and having to use the alternate air source from our buddies. There were several other drills and skills that we did along the way that were equally important and helped develop our skills to prepare us for our first dive in the open ocean habitat.
Thanks to Camera Rental Center for lending us some of the gear that we're going to use for this whole entire shoot. We have this bad boy over here, the Ecolite underwater housing. We're gonna use that to capture most of our footage today and inside the aquarium as well. So the housing is pretty easy to use, you don't need much training. Although the guys at CRC was very nice to give us a quick run through of how to use this housing, how to check for leaks, but basically even an amateur like dive videographer can use it simply underwater. But yes, a big thank you to CRC for lending me this equipment, without which we would not be able to get all these fantastic shots.
Camera Rental Center. Thank you very much.
Alright, so we're all geared up for our first open water dive. We'll be heading into the largest aquarium that they have here at S.E.A Aquarium. So yes, we got new equipment, the hood's on so that our hair doesn't flail about. And of course, we're going down deeper this time to 12 meters. So a whole new experience, and we're gonna use the underwater camera from now on to capture all the amazing footage.
Oh my god. I don't even know how I look like.
Quite cool lah, quite cool lah.
Cool.
Underwater nun.
Okay.
Mr. Bernard,
Yes!
our star videographer.
Long awaited moment, I'm done filming them. I've been filming the fishes.
As we approached the dive platform of the aquarium, I couldn't help but be amazed at the size of the aquarium. But that being said, my mind was more focused on all the skills that we've learned, and as this would be the first time we descended to 12 meters, it was pretty nerve-wracking. And it didn't help that there were many people watching as we descended into the aquarium. Being at 12 meters underwater was a whole new experience for us. It was a long way to the surface, and honestly, it was a pretty dangerous situation if you were not prepared for it. Luckily, we had great instructors and we were pretty confident in our drills. We practiced some of these drills at this new depth to instill some confidence in us and to get used to our surroundings. Once all that was done, we managed to swim around and had our first look and appreciation of the aquarium. This was the first time I've ever been underwater with so many of these sea creatures around me. They were all swimming naturally in their habitat, enjoying their time, and there we were, out of our element and trying not to die. Now that being said, this is one of the most out-of-world experiences you will ever feel. Being in a totally controlled environment, yet being surrounded by so much of Mother Nature. It was also a very unique experience being on the other side of the glass of the aquarium. You could appreciate the open ocean habitat with a 360-degree view and actually feel the life forms and movements around you. While not being totally distracted by all the beauty around us, we constantly checked up on each other and made sure we had enough air. Our dive instructors were also always mindful of our safety and constantly checked in on us. Now, this being the first dive that we are doing in the open ocean habitat, it was more for us to get used to the environment and also experience a new depth. After about 40 minutes of diving, we moved up to the 5-meter mark for our decompression stop. I noticed at each level of the aquarium there were different life forms that inhabited certain depth, and at the 5-meter mark we could experience a whole different world, including the very impressive manta rays. These 3-meter wide giants floated gracefully above us. It was truly a spectacle to watch, and an experience to swim amongst them. We ended off the dive by performing our out-of-air drill, whereby one of us would simulate running out of air and using our buddy's alternate air source. Then slowly rising to the surface safely in a controlled manner. This would sum up our training as open water divers and equip us with the knowledge of how to react during an emergency. Alright, we just got out from our first dive in the S.E.A Aquarium, the big tank. Like, it's just like so many things going around us.
Things going on.
And they get really close to you, so it's... Wow,
There was one time the manta like, woo!
Yeah, I know, it actually bumped my goggles there. But yeah, overall an amazing experience for our first dive. We did a few skills just to practice being at the 12-meter mark, and of course we did some diving around, swimming around and stuff like that. If you guys have a chance to come here, an amazing experience.
Alright, so we are back here on day 3 of the course. Feeling a bit more confident with the skills after yesterday's first dive in the aquarium. I mean, what an experience, it was so amazing. Today we're going to do another 3 more dives. It's going to be a lot more fun. We'll still practice a bit more on our skills so that we can get our certification done right. And all in all, the experience has been really good. The instructors have been really professional, really nice to hang out with. And yes, a big thank you again to S.E.A Aquarium RWS for giving us this opportunity for this epic dive and to be able to film it and share it with you guys. So let's go on with day 3.
So after 3 days of intense training and learning, there was a sense of accomplishment as we maneuvered around the waters easily and could now focus some attention to the beauty that was around us. The whole experience was truly remarkable and is such an out-of-this-world experience. It gave us a newfound appreciation for the ocean and its marine life, reminding us to support the health and sustainability of our oceans by doing simple things like using less power, choosing responsibly sourced food options, and reducing our use of single-use plastics. Simple actions like these go a long way in protecting this amazing underwater ecosystem. A big thank you once again to RWS and S.E.A Aquarium for making this all possible. If you guys want to know more about the open water dive course at RWS S.E.A Aquarium, you can go onto their website to find out more. Diving was such a fun experience, but at the end of the day, it's the people that are with you that makes for an unforgettable experience. Moments shared among friends and treasured for a lifetime. Learning something new, seeing something exciting, experiencing something truly magical.